last day of the final leg. Justin Hill had flame out going through the bridge, the narrowest part of the river. A alternator wire fell off.
Got a wire come off the alternator, exciter wire, so it cut out, and we thought it was all over, but he got it going again and ran upstream and pushed our way through. But yeah, finished the day, and yeah, she's a bit down on power now, but we got there in the end.
Despite those dramas, Justin did win A-class honours. Tom Kelly also had alternator issues on the Dart today. They thought they'd fixed it, but pulled out after leaving Queenstown Bay. Nigel Cromie won fastest on the Dart and won the Ralph Brown Memorial Trophy. Regan Williamson beat him on the shot over. Third place competitor Nick Sullivan had a bolt come out of the bottom of his nozzle, losing steering. Interesting, a guy on the side of the river lent him a bolt, put it in the steering and continued on up the river. And Sean Kelly loaned him his nozzle at the top. Even though Nick got going, he was outside his cut-off time. Technically, he didn't finish every leg, so he couldn't claim third outright.
We were disappointed, obviously, we'd retained the class place, but we're fourth.
But Sean Kelly wasn't without his problems. Now, Sean actually owns this river just about with the amount of tours he goes through there. But hey, he blasted off a rock. His navigator was under the water, the boat was so low, but they did get through. A little bit of damage to the side of the boat.
Had a pressure wave flicked us right up, and we're heading straight for the rock wall. Went right over on its side. Joe got wet head, bounced off that, and right us the way we went. So pretty exciting. I thought it was all over for us actually.
So Sean Kelly is now the new NZ2. Why is Sean in second? Sadly, Mike Pooley, who drove an extremely good race without any problem, had an engine failure, and he's high and dry, because what happens in a jet boat? No engine, no steering, you're in for the ride. That means Greg Simpson in an FX boat, believe it or not, started and finished every leg, ends up in third and gets NZ3.
Pretty happy for FX boats. It's good, great.
We've got our winner, of course, John Derry, 5 times New Zealand champion. So he's got his NZ1 back again, which is unbelievable. He's a very clean run. He drove a tactical race too. He drove to finish without any problems. His boat has not got a scratch on it.
It was a tough one, really tough to be honest. And that last day in that gorge was, I'll tell you what, we were certainly thinking about coming down. We've got a big boat, and coming down through that gorge was bloody tough work to be honest. So very pleased to see the finish line. It's been a great event. We've had great weather. Everything's gone pretty well, and finishing in Queenstown's the pinnacle of racing, I guess, and that brings everyone here, and we've got a lot of boats finishing. So it's great for us, It's great we've won the title, and hopefully we can try and repeat it next year. But it's a good start, I guess.
So John really deserved that win, and that's a good lineup for next year for the Worlds. That's it for this year, 2016 Riverboat Racing, sponsored by ITM and Design Windows. Hope you've enjoyed it. Looking forward to catching you next year for the World Championships in New Zealand. Some interesting statistics out there with Mike Pooley. Mike Pooley was a navigator for Robert, his brother. Of course, they're both brothers. and he's got back into the boat after 22 years. He's got his own boat and driving it. So Mike, what's going to be the biggest challenge after getting out of the passenger seat as a navigator and back into the driver's seat after 20 odd years, or probably actually closer to 30 years?
I think just getting the hang of driving one of these new boats. I've never driven Rob's boat, so no, it's going to be a challenge today because the river's down and we're not going to push it. We're just going to get up and back today and hopefully get back on the trail in one piece.
So do you find the Waimak is one of the challenging rivers, isn't it, as far as technical river?
Oh yeah, the Waimak, it's around the pylons and even up at the top it's challenging, and the flow really determines what you can do and how bad it really gets. We had a good run up. And it used one life up coming down, we had a wee whoops. No, we got here, it was enjoyable. The boat's handling well and we're looking forward to tomorrow. A bit more of a challenge tomorrow.
Regan closed the lead this morning, pulling 2 minutes on Baxter and finished right up behind him, which shows you that real speed of the turbine boat.
Our plan was if we could settle in and get comfortable, we're going to sort of give it a bit of a push and see how we go, and we sort of hit the channels we wanted to, and things come together and away we went. So yeah, no, it was good. We caught Nigel just after the pylons. He sort of broke out to the right and we went up the middle, so we had a clean pass on him.
And Ryan Ringer had a really clean run, but right near the end he went straight over a shingle bank.
I was asking the navigator where the flag was and I wasn't paying attention to the river, I was looking at the bank. And, he was yelling right, and I was like, I was thinking there's no flag over there. He was actually meant right channel.
But hey, he wasn't the only one, because the world champion CX man, he did exactly the same thing. But he finished without a push.
So when something like that happens, you're basically just looking for an out, really, and if it's cross dry land, it's cross dry land sometimes to get back in the river.
And of course Tony O'Loughlin in an FX boat, he did what we said. He needed the helicopter to get him back into the river.
I left my brain in the back seat of the truck. Yeah, put the helmet on. You get that brain fade sometimes. You get in your boat and your foot takes over and your brain hops out. I think I had that one. Yeah, so hopefully I've got rid of that now. And I've actually taped my brain in my helmet now, so hopefully I'll keep it there.
Plenty of drama on the way down, but of course nothing for Regan. He had a very clean run. But Roger Preston, of course, pressing really, really hard, got into serious difficulty. Didn't have a push, but it did cost him some time.
Pushed pretty hard the first half, but we made a balls up and missed a corner and mounted a bank and nearly tipped it on its side, and then it sort of went downhill from then on. So we're very pleased to see the end. We sort of made mistake after that, but we still got the second down, so hopefully all good.
And of course Nigel Cromie, he started second this morning, ended up about 7th or 8th today. He hit a bank.
Straight through there, narrow that. Nail it round there right, straight down. Beautiful. Pass it nice and clean. Shot to your right.
But he never had a push, and he did get to the finish line, and that's what it's all about. That wraps up the Waimak River today, and of course tomorrow we're off to the Waia. And that's like 110 k's upstream. That is what we call a piston breaker. Very hard on piston engines, and it's very fast river coming downstream as well. But that's a long way, and it's a lot of time behind the wheel of the boat. It's day 2 of the ITM and Design Windows Jet Boat Marathon race. Absolutely superb day on the Waimak River. What a great day yesterday. The short course really pushed that twin turbocharged boat. It just showed you how much grunt that guy had. Great acceleration. The turbine boats just lack that little bit of grunt coming out of corners, but today will really show with 65 k's upstream and downstream. There's some good straights in these rivers, and the turbine boats will really stretch to the end. What they'll have to watch for today when they're boating is the braided rivers. The braided rivers are really hard. If you take the wrong stream and it goes into nothing, you're a long time pushing, you'll probably need a helicopter to get yourself out. These boats weigh with the people in it probably 1.5 tons, but they're doing over 120 mile an hour. Downstream record probably will be broken today. It's held by Regan Williamson, which is 22 minutes and a little bit more, but boy, John Derry reckons his boat's the fastest. It didn't show that on day one, but certainly today, I think that long run will show whether they can beat that time.
I don't really know actually. We just sort of missed the shoot and thought we'd take another, and yeah, didn't pan out very well. Yeah, we sort of went and we missed, and we thought, oh no, we've got a chance to get out, and then no, we had no chance, and we're just up the top of nothing. Yeah, so and then you get out and you say a few things to each other, and then you start pushing.
Believe it or not, Craig Robinson did get further. But not much further. You know, we did say the Rakaia would be very interesting, and it was, of course. Not only did you have the winds, but you had the braided rivers, and a lot of people did get some strike. But, of course, day 5 here on the Waitaki River, and of course someone's either rung up the dam, this is a dam-controlled river, and said, hey guys, we want it lower, because normally this river's got 400 cubics. I don't think it's got 200. So it's going to be very interesting, very braided, and it does take you into the trees. This is what we call a tree-growing river.
Really no actually, we just sort of missed the shoot and thought we'd take another, and yeah, didn't pan out very well. Yeah, we sort of went and we missed, and we thought, oh no, we've got a chance to get out, and then no, we had no chance, and we're just up the top of nothing. Yeah, so and then you get out and you say a few things to each other, and then you start pushing.
Believe it or not, Craig Robinson did get further. But not much further. You know, we did say the Rakaia would be very interesting, and it was, of course. Not only did you have the winds, but you had the braided rivers, and a lot of people did get some strike. But, of course, day 5 here on the Waitaki River, and of course someone's either rung up the dam, this is a dam-controlled river, and said, hey guys, we want it lower, because normally this river's got 400 cubics. I don't think it's got 200. So it's going to be very interesting, very braided, and it does take you into the trees. This is what we call a tree-growing river.
Hello there everyone, welcome to Adam's Ministry. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've been away for a while, but I'm back now, and what I was doing was a bit of research for a new book. I went to Egypt, I did a cruise, I cruised the Nile, and then I stayed in Luxor for 7 days, and yeah, I found some incredible things over there that were all related to my work. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to find as much as I did, and it was all relevant. So yeah, it was a very special holiday, this. Quite possibly the best holiday I've been on. Because I was able to find something to write about that was all related. So yeah, I'll be going over that in the new book. It's mainly about the origins of Christianity, because Moses, he was nurtured as an Egyptian prince before he realised he was an Israelite. So he was the founder of Christianity. He wrote first 5 books of the Bible, we are told. Well, it is believed. He probably had a bit of help. They are really good, those first 5 books. He obviously had a bit of help from scholars and so on. But yeah, he wrote the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, and he was ancient Egyptian. He was an Egyptian, sorry. So there are ancient Egyptian traditions and ideologies adapted for use in the Old Testament. And yeah, I'll be going over all of those. I found a lot before I went, and I thought, oh, hang on, I could probably write a book on this. And when I went to Egypt, I was deliberately looking for some evidence of advanced technologies. I mean, the latest documentaries at the moment, I mean, they proclaim that there may have been use of electricity and other highly advanced technology in ancient times. And you know, I've seen a few of these. I've watched the Ancient Aliens documentaries, which yeah, I mean, they look. It looks like the way it's presented. It looks plausible. However, when you actually investigate this further, and you do a lot of research on ancient Egyptian and actually go over there, you will find that it's not the case at all. A lot of the stone reliefs and the inscriptions, they've got nothing to do with technology, it's all religious. Everything I saw when I was over there had a religious purpose. And yeah, this is it. I mean, I had to delete some chapters from my book, and you know, it was harsh. I had to delete the first 2 chapters, which were they were well written. The only problem is it's highly speculative, and I don't want to do that, you know. And when I went over there, I thought, oh, hang on, I better delete this. So I deleted chapters 1 and 2. I put everything on the board here. And I'm going to have to rewrite the preface and the intro, because that was all about technology as well. This is a problem. People keep trying to find evidence of, you know, high tech in ancient times, but you go over there and it doesn't really exist. No, like I said, it's all religious. Everything has a religious meaning and purpose. And although I was deliberately looking for this advanced technology, although I couldn't find it, God gave me something much more, okay, and He made it relevant to my ministry. And I've posted some pictures on Facebook and Instagram. They're really good. I go over the holy boat of Edfu, closely resembling the Ark of the Covenant. This is what the ancient Egyptians believed in, and that was carried by 7 priests. And in the Old Testament, it says that 7 priests carried the Ark of the Covenant on poles And again, you see shrines in ancient Egypt, they're carried by priests on poles. The most famous of which is the shrine of Anubis, found in Tutankhamun's tomb. And I mean, initially scholars thought it might be the Ark of the Covenant. That's how closely it resembled the Ark in terms of dimensions and you know, how it was constructed and so on. I mean, it didn't look like the Ark, but it was close. It was a shrine, and it was carried as carried as an Ark, but not the Ark. So I'll go over that, and yeah, I found a beauty. I was looking at this thing, and my tour guide, he's an Egyptologist. He was explaining it to me, and I thought, oh my word, this is great. I've hit jackpot here, and yeah, I'll go over that. It was basically it was a pharaoh being washed with ankhs. Sorry, yeah, my tour guide he corrected me. Ankhs, ANKHS. Now this is the symbol of life. The ancient Egyptians called this the key of life. And yeah, the pharaoh is being washed with ankhs, the key of life, and it was essentially a baptism. He was explaining to me why the pharaoh was being washed. He said that he had sinned, and he wanted to start a new life, hence being washed with the key of life. And I was thinking, oh my word, we use this today. This has been used in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. This ancient tradition, this purification and the baptism, being born into a new life, that's been used ever since. And yeah, that's going to be in the book. I'll go over that in further detail. I've got some pictures, like I said, on Facebook and Twitter. And yeah, this is just a small example of how, although I was looking for advanced technology in Egypt when I went over there, but I found something much more. Okay, God showed me something much more important and religious. It all has a religious meaning. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I went to the unfinished obelisk in Aswan, and a lot of the methods they employed to move the stones and cut them and so on, they just had different methods, you know, different ways of doing this, and it didn't involve high technology, highly advanced technology. I mean, the unfinished obelisk I saw, I said to him, how on earth were they going to move this thing? It was huge. I couldn't believe how big it was. I thought this would have been the tallest obelisk in Egypt, and I just couldn't get over how they would move it. But he explained to me they didn't lift obelisks into place. They let them fall under their own weight. They fell into place, and they used sand. They used sand to do this as well. And again, a lot of the huge stone slabs we see right at the top of the temples, we think, how on earth did they fall out of? Again, they used sand. They just piled up loads of sand and then dropped the stone block on top. And when you think of it, you know, it's quite simple. But yeah, that's just a small example. But although I couldn't find anything, I I went to Dendera, okay, and Abydos, and yeah, Dendera, I knew exactly what I wanted to see there. It was what looks like a light bulb. They show it on the Ancient Aliens documentaries, and you know they hint that they had electricity. This thing's a light bulb, but it's ridiculous. And I went to see that in Dendera, and you know I kept on nagging at my tour guide. You know, oh, can we see it? Can we see it? He knew exactly what I wanted to see, anyway. And yeah, he took me into this little crypt. You know, privilege this. Most people weren't allowed in there. But yeah, he took me into the crypt. We went down to the end, and there it was. I got some pictures of it, and I also got a video of us going in, and I'm going to show that in a minute. Where we explain it all. My tour guide explains it all, and it's a celebration. It represents a celebration. He later told me, once we'd come out of the temple and we were heading back home, he said that it was celebrating the New Year. It's a festival, and yeah, I've got a video, and yeah, I'm gonna put it on now. So yeah, have a look at that, and once you've seen that video, I'll then explain more about what the book is gonna include. Okay, so yeah, here it is now. Have a quick look at the video, and it's not a light bulb, okay, and it's not advanced technology. It's religious, and it has a much more important meaning. Okay, thanks.